everyone, I'm Laura from gosimpli.ca, and today I have a 10-minute weighted core workout for you that doesn't have any crunches, it doesn't have any spinal flexion. The only thing you're going to need is one weight. I have an 8-pound weight here, but use whatever you're comfortable with, or no weights at all if you're not ready for weights, that's fine too. So there's no warm-up, we'll just get started right into it in just a moment. Okay, we're ready to go here, and we're going to start with a wood chop. So I'm just going to come up onto my knees, and I'm just going to put the weight off to the left side, and then rotate up to the right. Now you don't need to do a big twist here. In fact, I'm not going to twist at all because of my osteoporosis. So I have made all of these moves safe for me, which means they should be safe for most people with osteoporosis, but of course make sure with your own doctor or physiotherapist. But so all of these moves are sort of like sneaky ab moves because they won't really feel like, you know, traditional ab and core style workout that we do as far as like crunches after crunches after crunches. You don't need to do crunches, I promise. Okay, and now we're going to take a 15-second rest. So we have 5 exercises that we're going to do for 45 seconds a piece with 15 seconds to transition in between. And when we get through all 5, then we're going to do them all one more time. So wood chop on the other side. So again, just down to one hip and then up over the shoulder. And again, you can keep it closer if you want, if you're not quite there yet. That's fine, that's sort of like a level 1. Or you can do more of a full extension. So our abs are working here by keeping us upright and stable on our knees. You could also do this exercise seated, or you could do it standing. So really, our core isn't necessarily moving at all here. It's acting as a stabilization, so it's a non-movement core exercise. And non-movement core is extremely important as we age. Okay, so next up we're going to do a T-plank. So again, this is a non-movement core exercise. So we're going to get, I'll show you level 1 and level 2. So level 1 would be to do it from your knees, and you're going to take the weight and you're going to open up into a T. So there is a bit of rotation here, but the whole torso is rotating. It's not just through the spine. And level 2 would be to come up on those hands and feet. And so I'm just alternating, and I'm putting the weight down in between and making sure that my hands are stable before I pick up the weight and do the rotation. A nice, slow, methodical movement here. And keeping those abs tight the whole time, and trying to keep, again, I don't have my mirror. Okay. So now we're going to get onto our back. So I'm just going to slide the weight over here, and I'm going to carefully get down onto my back. And so we're not going to move the upper body at all. We're simply going to hold the weight here, put the legs in tabletop, and we're going to bicycle them out. Okay, this is sort of, I guess I should show the other level first. This is your more advanced level. You can always march the feet in if you're not ready to hold that tabletop position with the leg extension. They're both great. So here we're, again, working the abdominals without actually moving our back, our torso at all. And very, very effective. It's actually very freeing. Okay, let me show you the next exercise and then I'll explain. Okay, so I'm going to roll onto my side here, and we're coming back up into that plank position, and we're going to pull the weight through underneath. I guess this shirt isn't the greatest to show abdominal work, is it? But it's very comfortable. Okay, so put the weight off to one side of your mat and pull it through, and then back to the other side. So not moving really the torso at all. We're trying to keep those hips totally stable, but because we're holding the plank and having weight pull through from one side to the other, and I should show the level one as well, which is where you're simply doing this on your knees. Okay, otherwise it's exactly the same. So again, this is a non-movement core. We're holding a position. Extremely important as we get older. Actually, it's just always important. Keeps the spine really strong. We're going back to the top now with the wood chop. Most of our abdominal and core work throughout the day is keeping us in good balance so we don't fall over. So I'm going to go down to the left hip and then up to the right side. Again, if you're not doing the same side as me, it doesn't matter. We'll do both. So yeah, when we change from one foot to the other, when we slip on ice, when we have groceries where one side is loaded much more heavily than the other. All of those things keep us off balance, and it's our abdominal core strength, I shouldn't say abdominals, all of the core and the lower back, that holds us in that stable position. So that is how we should work those muscles, is in that stable position, because that's their job, that's their function. So this is functional core training. Okay, so as I was saying way back before, and then I forgot until just now, I do that sometimes, that it was very freeing. Not at first, when I was told I couldn't do crunches anymore, I was like, what am I going to do? Okay, so wood chop other side, how am I going to work my abs? And I've been a phys ed teacher for like 20 some odd years. I know all of the exercises to work the core, but I had forgotten just how many there are to work the core that have no spinal flexion, no crunches at all. In fact, you could never do a crunch for the rest of your life and still have perfectly strong, capable abdominal muscles. You don't need to crunch. And so once I calmed down and was like, okay, osteoporosis, not the most awesome thing, certainly not the worst, I was like, wow, I have the perfect excuse. Okay, rest here, we're going to that T-plank. I have the best excuse to never do another crunch in my life. I can't do them. I can't do crunches. And wow. Okay, so again, level 1 is from the knees, and then rotate and put that weight up. So this is our only one with some movement. All of the rest are holds. So yeah, I can just say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do crunches. Crunches aren't for me. And yet my abdominals, because I've been so focused on building core strength to support my back, because the best thing I can do besides, maintain bone strength and try to build bone strength, the best thing I can do is to have strong muscles that support my spine and my hips so that they are very strong. So I have been very focused on building those, but of course I have to do modified, as in I can't do crunches, and my core is probably, so weight up, I'm going to do the tabletop position, but remember you can just do the march instead. My core is probably the strongest it has ever been, because crunches just aren't that effective compared to all these other exercises, because it's not the only function of the abs or the core is to crunch forward. In fact, that's so little that it's not necessary, as I said. So my core is probably the strongest it has ever been. And so in a weird way, I'm thankful for my diagnosis. Okay, so now we have one last exercise to do. No one's thankful they have osteoporosis. That's not quite what I mean. I guess I'm not using quite the right word. Okay, so we're doing the plank pull through. Okay, so opposite hand goes underneath and through your body to pull it. This is level 1 on the knees. And of course you can do level 2 by coming up to your toes. Yeah, no one's thankful for a diagnosis, but it has really, it's like like that blessing in disguise kind of thing, right? Where you find out something that you think is really, really awful, and then you're like, you know what, there's actually some good coming out of this. If I have to have osteoporosis, at least I've learned a lot, and I am making my body as strong as it can possibly be. I'm giving this everything I have. And that's something I may not have otherwise done. Okay, so we're done. So if I hadn't, I may not have made my core as strong as it could have been, and maybe I would have suffered an injury. And so maybe learning that I have osteoporosis and that I really need to keep this area on myself very strong and capable, maybe it's actually going to prevent something in the long run. I don't know. There's no way to know. But thank you for joining me for this weighted core workout. I hope that you like some of these moves. Let me know if you like doing ab workouts that have no crunches. From here forward, there will be very few, if any, of my ab workouts that have crunches in them. So if you know of other exercises that don't use a crunching, a flexion of the spine motion, let me know and I will incorporate them in my workouts. Give me a thumbs up, please. I would love to know. That's a great way to tell me that you like the workout, is to give me that thumbs up and to share it with a friend. As always, I look forward to reading your comments below, and I will respond to them in as timely a fashion as I can. Sometimes I get a little slow. So have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next workout.